हाय गाइस, तो इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द चैप्टर नेल्सन मंडेला लॉन्ग वॉक टू फ्रीडम. सो लेट्स बिगिन. What freedom meant to Mandela in childhood? So during childhood, the meaning of freedom for Mandela was quite limited. He considered it to be free to run in the fields, to swim in clear water, free to roast mealies under the stars, and ride the broad backs of slow-moving bulls. ये spelling error है यहाँ पे. What did Mandela think for oppressor and oppressed? So Mandela always thought that both oppressor and the oppressed are deprived of their humanity. Oppressor is a prisoner of hatred, while oppressed has no confidence in humanity, so both of them need to be liberated. What did Mandela realize about his brothers and sisters? So Mandela realized that his brothers and sisters were not free in their own country due to their color. The freedom of everyone in his society was curtailed, so he joined the African National Congress and he fought for the cumulative freedom, or freedom of his community. Describe the value of freedom for the human beings and how it is important for the growth of civilization and humanism as described in the lesson Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. So everybody, whether human or other creatures, wants to live free, as freedom is natural to all living beings. Sabko pasand hai, even animals don't like to be, caged and all. So the value of freedom is better known to that human being who has not tasted it till he gets it. A person who is chained with the limits and not allowed to perform his duties freely values freedom more than anyone else. For instance, freedom is better known to Mandela, who remained behind the bars most of his times. Think about a bird or animal which is caged, as they have the habit of living in full freedom. But in a cage, they are not free, and their conditions are very pitiable. Similarly, life becomes a hell if we are deprived of freedom. There is no growth of civilization as it grows only when one has freedom. Freedom to think, freedom to act, freedom to be creative. So similarly, humanism grows in the atmosphere of freedom. What promise does Mandela make at the beginning of his oath-taking speech? He thanks all the international leaders and guests, and he calls it an occasion of joy and victory for justice, peace and humanity. He promises that the country shall not again experience the oppression of one by another. ये कभी वापस नहीं होने देंगे वो. Why did inauguration ceremony take place in the amphitheater found by the Union building in Pretoria? So it was the first democratic, non-racial government taking oath in South Africa. The ceremony was attended by dignitaries from more than 140 countries around the world and thousands of people of South Africa of all races to make it a memorable day. So it took place in the amphitheater found by the Union buildings in Pretoria. What are the ideals which Mandela set for South Africa in his swearing-in ceremony? So he emphasized to liberate all the people from poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender inequality and other discriminations in his swearing-in ceremony. Why was Nelson Mandela changed into a bold man? So he was changed into a bold man due to his desire of freedom for his country and his countrymen. He wanted to live a life with dignity, as he could not enjoy the limited freedom. Could everyone fulfill the obligations, personal or social, in South Africa? No. Everyone was not free to fulfill their obligations because of their skin color. Basically, the blacks were not allowed to fulfill their obligations. If a person or if a black tried to fulfill their obligations, they were punished and isolated for being a rebellion. They were put away from their family. Does Mandela mean to say that the oppressor and the oppressed alike are robbed of their humanity? Mandela is right in saying that the oppressor and the oppressed alike are robbed of their humanity. Both of them are actually the victim of hatred. Everyone is obliged to discharge their duties, whether personal or social. But without freedom, a man cannot do so. The person who snatches this freedom of a man is really an oppressor and a prisoner of hatred. he has lack of humanity, but this is the same with a person who is oppressed by another. तो या अगर तुम ऑप्रेसर हो, तुम अत्याचार करने वाले हो, या ऑप्रेसी हो जो जिस पर अत्याचार हो रहा है, you both are prisoners of, and you both prisoners of humanity, you both lack humanity, and दोनों को फ्री कराना ज़रूरी है. ये क्वेश्चन काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये काफ़ी जगह काफ़ी बार अलग अलग तरीके से आ चुका है. सो ये इस मामले में क्लियर होना थोड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड ऑल राइट, दैट्स इट. बाय बाय.